Hey, DNA Strand crew, TJ here from the Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Podcast. Today's episode, we're going to be bringing you a 2023 rookie quarterback film session. Should be an epic episode. Join us, won't you?
Welcome to the Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Podcast, where we talk Dynasty Fantasy Football, fantasy rankings, and everything NFL. Join us and dominate your Dynasty League. It's in your DNA. And here's your host, TJ Blake.
Welcome back, DNA Strand crew. Yes, I'm the host of the Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Podcast, TJ Blake. You can find me on Twitter at TJBlakeDNA. And as always, we're joined by our show architect and co-host, the A-Train Andy Blake. You can find him on Twitter at A-TrainDNA. How you doing today, Andy?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. And next in the line of order, we got the producer and co-host, Ty Blake. You can find him on Twitter at DynastyDNA. Ty, how you doing today, Ty?
Pretty good. How's it going?
We're doing good. And we got our very own quarterback whisperer. We got Muscles Ryan Mayo. You can find him on Twitter at DynastyDNA Muss. How you doing today, Muss?
Not too bad. What's happening?
No, we're doing good, man. We're doing good. As we mentioned there at the show opener, we're going to be doing a 2023 rookie quarterback film session today. We're going to go over 8 of these guys and see what they have to offer, what we've seen, what we liked, what we didn't like. A couple things to mention, though, obviously, before we jump into that. We got the mentioning of the launching of the website, www.dynastydna.net. It's great. Looks really good. You can go over there. You can click on any of the podcast episodes and the old ones. It links you right to Spotify. You can go to those. Links you to any of the YouTube videos that we had on there. You can go over to every one of those for 2023. So that kind of makes it nice and handy. Also got quite a few articles on there now. Like I said, the guys we mentioned last week, the writers, they got a couple up. We got a couple up from earlier. So it's a really good website. You guys got to check it out. It's real smooth, and you can go over there, and you got all of our information right there at the click of a button. So that makes it nice and handy. Another thing to mention, the Bijan Robinson signed mini helmet sweepstakes. Man, this thing is awesome. We got 2 ways you can win it. You can go over to Twitter, and you can follow us on Twitter at DynastyDNA_. And then if you go over and retweet the pic of the helmet, you also will be entered once. And then if you go to YouTube, and you could be entered twice if you subscribe to YouTube. So you go to YouTube and enter, you could be subscribe, you could be entered twice. So you can't beat that. You have double the chance to win. Like Andy says every week, there's still a decent amount of slots available. You could be a lucky winner.
Definitely.
You never know. But before we do anything with these quarterbacks, we're going to go over to the breaking news with Muss.
All right, the Saints signed Jamal Williams, 3 years, $12 million.
Jamal in the Big Easy. What do you think, Ian?
Yeah, that's a good spot for him. I mean, if Kamara misses any time.
Yeah,
it could be like a thunder lightning, like before with Mark Ingram.
Yeah,
I'm just shocked he didn't go back to Detroit.
Yeah,
just stunned.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, they really like the player, but hey, they obviously like David Montgomery when they brought him in. So
yeah, they paid him a little bit more. Jamal said he was embarrassed by their offer.
I can't. Yeah, I can't believe it. He didn't go back.
I know. Oh well. Panthers signed Miles Sanders, 4 years, $25 million.
That one's a little more interesting. I mean, really for him, I think that could be a really good landing spot just because he should see a lot of volume. Mm-hmm. I was honestly thinking he was going to go somewhere maybe where he could be like in a committee or like a straight backup. But, hey, man, he's staying alive. He's got one hand out of the grave.
He should get out the bulk of the carries. I mean, Jonathan Foreman
and I like it, but my thing is, how bad are the Panthers going to be?
I know.
So if they're if they're passing the ball. Yeah, which I think he can catch the ball, but if they give him them opportunities, or is it Chuba Hubbard?
Right.
Yeah.
So Chuba Hubbard might be a little bit of a sneaky buy right now.
Yeah.
Because of that.
I like that. It's good thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. James Robinson signs with the Patriots, 2 years, $8 million.
Bill gets another running back.
Yeah. I mean, it could revive his career a little bit, or he could easily be cut.
Yep.
I mean, they did give him okay money.
Yeah, $4 million a year. That's not terrible.
It's some of that's, I think, incentives, too. So
probably.
He should have a chance.
P.J. Walker to the Bears. Reunited with DJ Moore.
Better in the XFL.
Did you guys see that 62-yard bomb to DJ Moore to beat the Falcons last year?
Yeah.
Blind squirrel finds nut every once in a
I
while.
guess. So he's following DJ Moore.
My thing with PJ is, like, I kind of believed in him. I had him in a one quarterback league.
Yeah.
And I rolled with him. It just didn't work out. So now I'm cutting all ties.
You screw Andy once, you're done.
I don't blame you. Buck signed Chase Edmonds to a 1-year deal.
A little interesting, but gives a little depth behind Rachaad White. And, these little running back deals are interesting that are going on around the league because it's like, we're going to see maybe are some of these teams going to draft guys. Maybe they'll pass.
Yeah.
Dolphins signed Braxton Berrios to a 1-year deal. A little bit of depth behind Hill and Waddle.
Yeah, and they did get rid of Sherfield, so he'll slide into there.
Little insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
Paris Campbell signs a 1-year deal with the Giants.
Maybe revive his career. He's a good football player. He can't stay healthy.
He's always hurt.
He cannot stay healthy.
And a little bit interesting, Bears signed Robert Tonyan. Bob Tonyan.
Yeah, I mean, and that don't hurt because it gives him another pass catcher, a veteran guy. I mean, you play him with Komet. I mean, in goal line sets, 2 tight end sets don't hurt. And really, it's good for Chicago getting players like that.
It's crazy how many people are staying in the division.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about a lot. There's Braxton Berrios.
That is odd. I never really thought of that.
Oh, Braxton Berrios.
He's went to about every AFC.
He was with the Patriots, too, right?
Yep, and the Jets.
Yep.
He's going to make one more stop at Buffalo.
The Bills, yep. Bears also signed Deonta Foreman. So.
Yeah.
Good veteran back.
Solid. Who do you think starts between him and Khalil Herbert?
I think you got to go with Khalil, but really though, you could run either of them now at this point. It could be more of a timeshare again.
They still could draft somebody,
right?
They got a lot of picks.
Yeah, they got a lot of picks now.
Yeah, Eagles signed Marcus Mariota to a 1-year, $5 million deal.
Yeah, that's good insurance behind. They got rid of Minshew.
Yep,
so
decent backup deal.
Yeah.
Mike Gesicki heads to the Patriots, 1-year, $9 million deal.
Just when we thought it couldn't really get any worse.
Yeah. Who knows? They don't really have people to throw to.
No.
And them bringing in Juju and him, I don't believe in it, but we'll see.
they do like tight ends, though. New England does like tight ends, but, that offense is just so putrid at times. And really with Gesicki, it was like Andy said it best last time we talked about him on one of the last previous shows. It's pretty much time to just say, hey, it's over. I would cut ties.
You think you can still get a second for him? I'm not selling if I can't get a second.
No, I would hold him. But, if I could get a second for him, he's definitely someone I'm not buying.
Yeah,
I'm just out on him.
Me too.
OBJ says he doesn't want 20 mil, but 4 isn't enough, so somebody must offer him 4.
Must have been the Jets.
Yeah, trying to get the Rodgers wish list. Cowboys trade a 2023 fifth and a 24 sixth for Brandon Cooks.
What a sign.
Yeah,
good move, Jerry. That was a good move.
Yeah,
and really, that's a perfect receiver for behind CD.
Yeah.
Because Brandon Cooks has always been that guy. He don't need the limelight. He just produces. And, they needed another solid, good pass catcher, and that's what they got. If he's healthy, that's a great move.
And I think I've seen a stat, 6 1,000-yard receiving seasons since 2015.
He's got to be up there for, the most traded player.
Oh, yeah.
He has to be.
And he's so underrated, too.
Yeah, I think he's solid.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah. Adam Thielen signs with the Panthers, a 3-year deal.
Fleeced again.
Yeah.
As much as I like Adam Thielen, I got to look at the contract. I didn't look at it.
3 years.
Maybe it's more of a 1 year.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from it. It's more like a 1 year.
Then that's good.
Yeah.
It's 3 years. Oh, my. That's a lot for a guy like that. If they have an out after 1 year, that would be good.
He's just better for football purposes. Whoever this young quarterback is they draft.
Yeah, so any hype that he gets out of this, just sell him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mac Hollins signs a 1-year deal with Atlanta.
It's a little bit interesting. I mean, let's
Atlanta
be honest.
Don't really have anything.
I really am not thrilled with Atlanta's passing attack in general lately. But I mean, for a football aspect, I think that's a good move for the Falcons.
I think this helps Kyle Pitts and Drake London.
Yeah,
They didn't bring anybody really with significance in. Right?
Yeah, it gives you someone though that can maybe help a little bit, but like you said, won't eat into them too much.
Because I do think it's a slight upgrade from Alamodatus Zacchaeus, if I'm saying that right.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
I try to make it sound smooth.
Zacchaeus.
Zacchaeus.
Better than I could do. Dolphins pick up Tua's 5th-year option. So
yeah,
no surprise there.
Yeah. No.
Keelan Cole returns to the Raiders on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Oh. He must like the nightlife in Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't sign Damian Harris.
Yeah, I know.
I never really thought about that, but I'm surprised.
I figured.
Texans signed Devin Singletary a 1-year, $3.75 million deal.
Probably good news if you have
Dameon Pierce.
I was drawing a blank.
There's your handcuff.
Yeah.
That is it, too. That's what I even put on Twitter. I'm like, you Dameon Pierce owners, here's your handcuff now.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they kind of do the same thing, don't they? I mean, just
I don't really get it.
Do they draft somebody too? Like,
well, maybe that signals that they want it running back now. Maybe they want to fill other slots.
I think it's one of the best things. If you have Dameon Pierce shares, it's probably one of the best things that could happen for you.
I agree.
Possibly,
Damian Harris signs a 1-year deal with Buffalo.
And that's good for Buffalo in a way. I mean, because
they got the grinder.
Yeah, they need a tougher back.
And at the same time, I mean, he's maybe a slight upgrade from Singletary.
Right.
I was kind of hoping that, but they did use a 2nd-round pick on James Cook.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a good, like TJ said, it's a good grind guy.
Yeah, I think it's a good football move for Buffalo. They needed that, like you said. I agree.
Yeah. And Ty brought this up. Cam Newton to throw at Auburn's Pro Day.
Oh.
Woo. Yep.
Come back.
What did he say? Coming back. He says he's there's no way there's 32 mother effers in the league better than him.
And he's right, there's 34 that are better than him.
Something like that, right?
I'll tell you, Cam was a beast back in the day, but
everyone their clock runs out at some point, man.
Yeah, he took a lot of hits. He was a big dude.
Yep.
That's what worries me with Josh Allen, but we'll save that for another day.
Yeah, so he's 32, so.
Yeah.
Ronald Jones signs with the Cowboys.
Another Ronald Jones sighting. This might be the last one.
Yeah.
And the Colts get Isaiah McKenzie.
Ooh.
So a little bit of depth behind it.
A little bit.
Gives them a little bit of veteran presence.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's all I got.
All right, Mus, we appreciate you always going over that, keeping those free agents up to date. Them are the ones that signed since our last show that we didn't discuss. But we're going to go over here to the first quarterback on the list for our quarterback film session review. And as always, we're going to start over here with the A-Train. We're going to come out hot out of the gate. It's going to be Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama Crimson Tide, 6 foot, 194 pounds. What'd you see with Bryce?
Well, he went into the combine at 5'10", 204, which I think is BS. I don't think he's 200 pounds. I mean, just watching him. Do you guys, honestly?
No.
Like, that had to have been a lot of water.
Rocks in his pocket.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe that. I mean, it almost had to be because he didn't compete. Like, he didn't do anything, didn't throw, didn't do no drills. So that, I think he takes a slight bump for that.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because he almost was kind of like the clear-cut 1-1 at one point. Then it went to Stroud. Like, it just kind of seemed to
flip-flop.
Yeah. But he is a guy who does have elite college production. Last year, I'll just go over stats real quick. 245 completions, 380 attempts, 64.5 completion rating, 3,328 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. So, pretty solid season for Bryce last year, and he did well in 2021 as well. So, something that you really like to see. I mean, coming out of Alabama, he is undersized. He's playing the best of the best competition.
110%.
So, that's something I really like. And even though he is small, I think he is a tough dude. I mean, real tough guy. I've seen him take a lot of hits.
Yeah.
And a lot of big hits at that. But I was kind of talking to TJ on the phone about this, and even though he's tough for his size, if you break your leg, what you did to your hip, Tua, he messed up his hip real bad. You're not going to come back from that kind of stuff all the time.
Right.
So you're kind of dancing with the devil when you're doing stuff like that, and it's scary.
It is.
And that's a big knock on him as his size. So
Well, and we see it with Kyler Murray. We see it with Tua.
Yep.
I mean, these guys are talented, but can they hold up to the NFL, game?
and even Kyler, like, he's small, but, like, he's built different. He's a little bit more stout, I feel
Right.
like. Hopefully Bryce he takes his time coming in and he really hits the weight room. I mean, he needs to.
Right.
Just to hold up.
That's his biggest knock.
Yeah.
It's just his size because, like, if you watch him, he's a field general.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
He is.
to me, he's got maybe the best eyes in this group. Like, I've seen him go through his progressions, read after read.
Extremely accurate, especially in that short intermediate, like, 10-yard range. Very, very accurate. I thought he was one of the best in the class, too, besides, of course, Anthony Richardson, at avoiding tacklers and looking downfield and making plays. Like, he extends plays really well. I love his ability to do that. I think he's pretty mobile. But again, how mobile are you going to be when you're getting smacked by these 245-pound linebackers that run 4.4s? And one of them just ran a 4.39 or whatever out of Georgia.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, the NFL game's a different animal.
It's like Stampede, man. Like, can you imagine being on the sidelines and hearing these behemoth of men just
and there's reports just a couple hours ago, I guess they already said Bryce Young is already the Panthers guy with the #1 pick.
Really?
Wow. Well, that's interesting. But is it a smokescreen, though? Like, you got to be hesitant, but maybe he is. But, like, I can see why. Because outside of the size and him not competing at the combine, you take them two things, you throw him out the window. To me, he's easily could be the best quarterback in this class.
100% agree, because he does a good job at taking care of the ball as well. Also, he was a Heisman winner in 2021. He's won 24 of his 20 games as a starter.
Yeah.
So he's a winner as well. And I mean, that's something that you got to take into consideration with a guy like him.
And it's just like something we talked about. Everything throwing the ball, he looked great. The only thing he does need to clean up, like we mentioned earlier, I know we were talking about it, is them timing routes. I mean, especially in the red zone. Like, I've seen him miss them outside throws quite a bit. And, I mean, in the middle of the field, though, he's money, and he knows where to go with the ball.
Yeah, and like you were just saying, the timing, man. I mean, anything outside of the numbers, I don't necessarily think, because I have arm strength with a question mark, I don't think he has a weak arm.
No.
Yeah, it's just not pro. I don't think it's pro ready. Like, it's not elite.
And I don't know. I mean, I'm no quarterback guru by any means. Is his footwork a little bit different, maybe? Like, at the same time, when you got guys like J-Mo that left, I mean, he was a real big, receiver for him.
Yeah.
So you're trying to learn this is why it's hard for me to watch, like, college football and have, like, a team. Because you always got guys moving.
And you wonder, though, with his arm strength, though, is it because of his height? Because, like, is he getting his feet firmly planted and, like,
he's trying to throw over these 6'6" linemen and guys coming at him. I don't know. That's something that was really hard for me to determine. But he does have a problem there, and that's something that hopefully in the next level he gets the right coach and can take care of it.
Yeah, because I'm like you. I don't think he's got a cannon. I think he's serviceable.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's got a cannon. And I've seen him, like, on some deep balls. Sometimes they were underthrown. I mean, they just were. I mean, it wasn't like they were. I mean, his receivers had a step. He could not quite get it out there far enough.
If he goes to Carolina, he's going to have Frank Reich, too, so that's definitely going to help. I mean, he's coached Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, so he's been around the block with quarterbacks. So
pretty good list.
Definitely going to help him if he goes there.
If Carolina has indeed decided that they want Bryce Young, if that is true, in a way, I kind of commend them, because maybe they're already trying to get a plan in place as quick as they can.
And this would be a perfect Adam Thielen signing, because what's Adam Thielen good at? He's a real good route runner, short intermediate. He can get open. And that would be really good for a guy like Bryce Young.
So there could, where there could be smoke, there could be fire. And I mean, if they are saying that, I'd say there's a good chance it's true.
And from what I heard at the combine, like, he's really, really smart. Like, he's really fast at reading defenses.
Yeah.
You could see it with his eyes.
Yeah, you can. He just knows what's going on. He studies real well. He's he cares about his performance. So.
And I'm curious, out of the 8, where do you guys have him ranked?
Number 2.
I got him at 3.
I got him at 2.
I got him as 2 as well.
You got him at 2. I got him at 3, but that could change.
Right.
That could definitely change.
Right.
I mean,
it's really close. I mean,
it is. I feel like him, Stroud, and Anthony Richardson are kind of in the same tier for me, and then I feel like there's a tier with just Levis.
Right.
That's me.
And the thing is with Levis, and we'll go over more of these guys, he could blow through the roof. I mean, with his potential, with his arm strength. I mean, there's a lot to go over here, but I got Bryce at 2. I know that, it's just so tight. And like you said, it could flip-flop between now and then.
I think a lot's going to depend on draft capital.
Yeah.
It is.
will.
And landing spot.
Landing spot,
If he does go to Carolina, they're going to have to really beef that team up around him.
What do you guys feel? Yeah, because, they traded, the farm.
That's it.
You're relying on Terrence Marshall and Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
And Hayden Hurst, which, okay, but we're going to see the future.
Right.
Yeah.
So would you rather him go to Carolina or go to Houston?
Houston.
Me too. I would feel much better.
He's going to be protected a lot better, too. I mean, they at least got a decent offensive line with a lot of picks that they can help him out with. Carolina doesn't really got much of anything.
And Frank Reich's good at, coaching these young quarterbacks. Offensive mind, but, as a young quarterback, as a rookie, you go in there under DeMeco Ryans with a defensive coach, a defensive mindset, they'll probably try to protect their quarterback. I mean, they're going to try to run the ball and play defense.
My main thing, I don't even know if I'm more concerned about the line. As I was talking about Miles Sanders, I feel like they could be in comeback mode quite a bit.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then they're just going to drop their guys back. And you're hoping.
What picks did they get for CMC? Did they get any first-round picks this year?
No first.
No.
They got second, third, fourth, in that range.
Okay.
A lot of later round draft.
Which is okay. I mean,
Right,
you're going
right.
to get somebody, but
I
the difference
wasn't
between
sure.
JSN and Zay Flowers is pretty big.
Right.
Yeah.
It just scares you because with Carolina, they don't have a lot to offer, and he's not a very big guy. It just seems like everyone that goes to Carolina really takes a beating. So.
Unless they plan, like Ann said, maybe they'll play Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Maybe they will. I mean, maybe they'll play him for a little bit and give Bryce some time to learn if they do indeed take him.
If that's what happens, yeah.
Right. There's a lot to go into it, but I'm glad you mentioned that, Ty. It's something to keep eyes on. We're going to go over to the next one here, and it's going to be coming to me. It's going to be Stetson Bennett, quarterback, Georgia Bulldogs, senior, 5'11", 190 pounds. I mean, Stetson Bennett, he's got the pedigree. We all know that. I mean, he's a little undersized. I mean, another guy that's not a real big guy. But he does have the winning pedigree, back-to-back national championships at Georgia. I don't think you could ever discount that too much. I mean, he's fairly mobile. I mean, he ain't like a statue. He can move pretty well. Did see him get around pretty good for that. Doesn't have the best arm talent. I mean, let's just be honest. He can't sling it all over the place. And, it's really hard to judge his film because of just how good Georgia was. There was guys running wide open. He had lots of time in the pocket. I mean, his offensive line kept him clean a lot. And when we go over some of these other guys, it's almost a tragedy seeing what they had compared to what he had. And just seeing, just missing some throws. I mean, I don't know. It seemed like he just was more of a middle intermediate guy. He's more of a check down guy to me. I don't see him being a big play type guy and going over to the next level. Like I said, it's just so hard to judge him with the talent that he had on the field. I have him rated number 5 right now on my list. I mean, I don't think he's half bad. I think he's going to be about a 4th-round guy in the NFL draft. And just like I said, I don't know. I'm just not wild about him. Nothing wowed me about him. He just seems like he's just a good, solid backup, maybe NFL quarterback. I think that's a ceiling. I mean, what did you guys think about him?
I honestly, I came away really underwhelmed.
Yeah, it wasn't anything.
Yeah, I thought that he might be like that guy behind Hendon Hooker for me that I'm like, oh, yeah, I like Stetson Bennett.
Right.
And like you said, he did have the college production, and you can't take away the 2-time national champion. But I thought he was really inconsistent, made some really, really bad throws, and I'm just like...
So much air on his throws.
Yeah, what are you doing? But the thing is, I feel like when he takes his chances downfield, he shows that he can throw a good deep ball.
If he wants to.
If he wants to. But maybe that's a part of the offense. They didn't want him taking them shots.
Because it just seemed like he was so willing to check it down or throw across the middle.
I know. And sometimes, some of his throws, I'm like, what are you even thinking?
Throwing in the tight coverage, and he don't have the arm strength to rip it in there. I agree with you on that.
He offers no athletic ability.
No, he isn't horrible. He is not a statue, but compared to these other guys,
right?
He's not Michael Vick.
Right.
So I like the winning side of it, But to me, I just see a backup in the NFL. And I think what he is, the winning pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will work hard for you, and I mean, he would do anything to help a team win.
Yeah.
So I think that's just his ceiling. I don't see him really eclipsing any of that. I give him a little bit of a boost just because of his winning history. I do think that matters. But, I mean, he's really landing spot dependent. He's really landing spot dependent.
Like I said, too, before, doesn't he seem like a frat guy almost?
Yeah, he does.
Like, he just don't have the fire in him. I feel like if you... I was watching Dodgeball earlier, kick him in the nuts or something and say, come on. Maybe piss him off.
Throw a wrench at him.
Yeah, throw a wrench at him or make him go through traffic.
But, like you made a good point. Like, it's weird because he did win, but how much of it was the coaching and the team he was on? Like, was he just the ultimate game manager? And that's what it seemed like to me. And like,
which has us position in the NFL.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They do.
I mean, and that's why I said a great backup, because that's what you want a backup quarterback to do. To come in, don't screw it up, and just do enough for us to win.
You know who a good comp is? I feel like, and I don't know, it came to mind. Tommy Maddox.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Isn't it? Like, Tommy Maddox, he could throw the ball downfield at times, but a lot of times he just dink and dunk, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make stupid plays here and there, and it's like it drives you nuts. You want something different, but I mean that's Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, it really is in a nutshell. I mean, I don't know. It would be interesting. Is there any certain maybe landing spots you'd like to see him end up in? I mean, I think he needs to go somewhere where he could get really well coached. Maybe they could help him a little bit.
I honestly don't even think there is one. I think he's just more of he's going
to be a backup.
He's going to just go around and be a backup.
Yeah. I don't know. I hear rumors that Atlanta's interested. I mean, just for the hometown thing. I mean, maybe he gets an opportunity there with the quarterback mess they have, because sitting where they're sitting in the draft, they might not be able to get one of these guys at 8. It'll be close.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they might not be able to get one. So, maybe they'll go for someone like that. I mean, just to kick some tires.
I currently have him a seventh out
you
of
have him
these
7?
guys.
I have him
8.
6.
Yeah.
I have him 7th.
I got him 5. Like I said, I'm not in love with him, but once you get past the top 4,
it
really
gets a little bit scary.
It does. So, it'll be really interesting to see where he ends up, what his role is. But I think back up at best. He really no fantasy relevance, unfortunately. We're going to go over here to Ty, and it's going to be one of the big boys. It's going to be C.J. Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State Buckeyes, 6'3", 218 pounds. What'd you see with C.J., Ty?
Yeah, first thing I seen that, he had a fantastic collegiate career, and I love seeing that out of a guy that's supposed to be highly touted. I don't really like seeing a guy who, just did okay to mediocre being drafted high as a quarterback in the NFL, because they got to light it up in college if they're going to do well in the NFL, in my opinion. But he was named Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year twice and became the first player in program history to be a 2-time Heisman Trophy finalist. First quarterback in the history of Big Ten to have back-to-back seasons with 30 or more touchdown passes, 44 in 2022 and 41 in 2023, or 2021 and 2022, sorry. But what I've seen about him is he's intelligent. I mean, he's already got the skills to be a fantastic quarterback, and on top of that, he can read the defenses, which a lot of these guys anymore, they got the talent. They just can't really read the defense as well. So he already has that built into him. Great arm strength and great accuracy. Seen that at the combine. Every throw really was right on the money. And on top of that, he's got great speed. I think he's got all the tools to be a great NFL quarterback and fantasy guy, really, just because of the rushing. And, I'm not normally high on Ohio State quarterbacks, but I think this guy could really be something out of there finally. The only thing I didn't like about him, though, on top of that, I'm sure you guys seen, he's not very good under pressure.
Nope. That wrote down.
Exactly.
And that scares me a little bit because he's going to get drafted high. What if he goes to a bad situation? He's going to get pressured, so he's going to have to absolutely clean that up because he's going to get exposed if he can't. So he's my number one guy, though, this year, but he's got to clean up. Just staying calm in the pocket and rolling out if need be. So
I agree with you, Ty. You really hit it right on the head. That's the only knock I have on him too. And I know, me and Andy were talking about this previously, especially up the middle pressure. He don't like that at all.
No.
But I will say this. If Carolina is indeed taking Bryce Young, if I'm C.J. Stroud, I'm happy about using
Yeah.
Yep.
because they did bring back Laramie Tunsil. Mm-hmm. So he will have a really, really good tackle there. So that really could help him. Maybe they'll have some building blocks up front to help him. Give him a little time, So I don't know, but C.J. Stroud just seems like such a cool customer.
Yeah.
Every time I watch him, like if he does have the time, he knows where to go with the ball. He probably timing routes. He's probably the best thrower timing routes in this group.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He has the rhythm. He feels it. You can see it whenever he drops back. I mean, everything's smooth. And, to me, he is. I got him rated number 1, too. I just think that out of all the things a quarterback has to do, he fills the most boxes for me.
Yeah.
And then you throw in the athleticism, which he does have a good amount of athleticism to offer. So I really like C.J. Stroud. What did you think, Ian?
Yeah, I absolutely love him too. I mean, his accuracy is just pinpoint.
Yep.
Some of the concerns that I did have, like Ty said, the pressure. That's a main one for me. And another thing, what if things break down? He don't like that.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, because a lot of people say, well,
Yeah.
I'm not doing the argument of having Garrett Wilson, Olave, JSN, Marvin Harrison. I mean, he's had some weapons.
Oh, yeah.
So if things break down and he don't have these guys, he does not like that.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't do much outside of the pocket. I don't know if that's what you mean too. Like
yes, when
things break down, he
because he don't really want to run, and like some of his out of pocket throws are a little bit shaky. Like they're not all bad, but they're a little bit shaky at times. But I think as far as ball placement, he's the best in the class. The timing routes. I mean, he has a strong arm, great mechanics. He's everything you want to see when he's not pressured.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think something that you got to consider, too, is the Georgia game. He did show getting pressured. He moved around pretty good.
66 yards on 6 attempts.
He actually ran. He actually showed a little bit of poise of getting away and looking downfield. So can he continue to do that? I hope so. And he is my quarterback one right now as well.
He's mine too.
And going back to that Georgia game, is I think he lost Marvin Harrison Jr. that game, and he still played good without his number 1 guy. So that's promising too.
And he took a step against a good team. You like to see that. And now the only thing is, and that's if he does get drafted to Houston or someone like this in the top, 5 picks, I'm telling him, look, if it ain't there, just go.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't think about it too hard. I mean, that's the thing. It's like when he's off his spot, when he gets knocked off his spot, I'm like, that's when things get dicey. But whenever you give him the time and he sets up on his spot, he is lethal. I mean, it is pinpoint. He knows where he's going with the ball. I really like him. Like I said, I think that could be cleaned up. But I think that's what you tell a young quarterback if you're one of these teams. Just, hey, if it ain't there, just take off or throw it away.
Yeah.
And with his accuracy, I mean, he could be an outlier. I mean, because he doesn't run a lot.
Right.
But, I mean, with his accuracy, I know a lot of people say the upside ain't there. I do see the upside. Because if you can be pinpoint accurate, look at Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah.
He's a top 5 quarterback.
Yep, that matters. And honestly, man, I'm hoping it's Houston for C.J. Stroud.
I do too.
Because it's perfect. He's got a better equipped offensive line. He's got a defensive-minded head coach that can keep him safe. You got Damian Pierce in the backfield you can hand it to, and he's a bell cow type guy.
And if he is a top 10 guy, I mean, you're talking, first round, early second round startup next year.
Oh, yeah.
So,
for sure.
I mean, he's a good gamble to take on.
And Houston's probably going to add to that receiving core, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they got another pick in the top, 10, right around there?
And when I broke this down, I thought about Anthony Richardson at 1. I'm like, man, if he gets the capital, gets the capital. But C.J. Stroud, to me, is much safer. And honestly, if Anthony Richardson hits, are you putting him above Mahomes? No. Are you putting him above, Allen, Burrow, Herbert? No. Like, he's not going to be top 5.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? And even Fields, because, Fields has shown that he's an elite rusher.
Right.
And we still probably have him, at 8?
Yeah, it's right around there.
I mean, not just even us. I'm talking consensus.
Consensusly around 7-8 probably.
Yeah, so I mean, you're still always going to have questions about it. So
that's for sure.
That's why I put C.J. Stroud at my number 1. I mean,
for sure.
85 touchdowns and 12 interceptions.
Yeah,
is pretty.
Takes care of the ball.
Yeah, takes care of the ball.
Real efficient. And that goes back to he knows where he's going with it, and it's accurate.
Yep.
And that's the key. And Houston, man, if it is Houston, they got another pick at 12. I'm sure they're going to add a receiver.
Yeah. I think that's a very safe,
I do too.
First quarterback off the board.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely. Love C.J. Stroud. Be interesting to see where he ends up. We're going to go over here to Muss. It's going to be Max Duggan, quarterback, TCU Horned Frogs, 6'2", 210 pounds. Tell me what you've seen with him, Muss.
He's a 4-star recruit. Kind of had an up and down college career. He had 3,698 yards and 32 touchdowns in 2022. But in the big game, he went 14 for 22 with 152 yards and 2 interceptions against Georgia in a bowl game. So pretty much when he had to step up, he
didn't.
He didn't. I don't think his arm strength and accuracy definitely isn't pro ready. I just think he's going to be a fun, competitive backup. I like this competitive side. He seemed like a fun guy out there, kind of like a Gardner Minshew kind of mentality. But I just don't think he'll be fantasy relevant, honestly. He was the 8th quarterback out of all 8 of them.
Yep.
I had rated. So.
Yep, I agree. That's where I have him, too.
Wow, I had him at 6, which doesn't matter. The back end all sucks.
That's why I said after 4, it's
Spoiler
a crapshoot.
Alert. Yeah. It does. But, he kind of has a little bit of dual threat, but that I saw. But, like I said, I like this fun competitiveness, but...
Mm-hmm.
And again, to me, he kind of is in a game manager type role. And it was a TCU style offense that he was equipped to, to lead. And, the thing is I just don't see, he just average to me. There's nothing that just stood out, not a great arm, not real accurate. Yeah. He's not the most athletic. He's not horrible, but he's not the most athletic person, and it's what do you bring to the table? There's nothing there. You compare a prospect like this to what we just said with C.J. Stroud throwing the football. It's not even close.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like you. I do like what you said. He does bring that little bit of swag maybe.
Yeah.
He is pretty confident. I do like that. Maybe he goes somewhere and does get an opportunity to be a backup or somewhere along that line. But it just seems like he was a college system quarterback.
Yeah, definitely. And the only reason I put him at 6, he ran a 4.52, and you've seen it on some of his stats. He does have good speed.
Yeah, he's not horrible,
And to me, him and Stetson Bennett are the same. They both miss high, low,
erratic.
Very erratic throwers. And I just figured I'll put Duggan ahead of him just because he ran a 4.52.
Right.
He's more mobile.
And he's got a little bit of age.
Yep.
And the thing is, man, what did you hear from him really until this year?
Right.
And he had the weapons. That's the thing.
I was just going to say that, man. His team made him look great.
Yeah.
And have Quentin Johnson, Kendra made him look good.
And there's no problem in that. It's just man, he didn't make any of the big boy throws either.
Yeah.
And neither did Stetson Bennett. It was just okay, throw it here, do what we across the middle, something intermediate. Just get us down the field. Just don't do anything stupid. Don't turn the ball over and help us win. Mm-hmm. It was, it was just a college system type game that he was playing, just a game managing type system. I don't know, just nothing wowed me. You didn't see him rip any of these 20, 30-yard out routes very often.
No.
And like Andy said, when he tried to make some of them harder throws, it was really erratic. High, low.
Yeah.
Way outside.
It took me everything in me to try to keep watching. I watched the one game. He made a couple throws. I'm like, wow.
Right.
It was like going to the carnival, throwing that game where they have the ball or you try to hit the jugs.
Yeah, the milk jugs.
It went way off. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
I didn't come in with big expectations. And I can see either way Stetson Bennett or him flip-flopped.
Right.
Because Stetson Bennett has, he's a winner. He's won 2 national championships.
And I do think that, like I said, it matters in the draft process.
Mm-hmm.
To me, he's going to get picked over Max Duggan probably just because of that, and there's no, it ain't like they're going to be, I think it's going to be 4th to 6th round for both of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, someone's going to give probably Bennett the shot just because of his winning pedigree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more of a chance.
Right.
But doesn't make him a better prospect, really. Just,
right.
But it's so close, like we just said 5 times.
Probably irrelevant.
Yeah. You go from 4 to 8. It's a crap.
You could put Max Duggan in that offense, and he could have done the same thing. Bennett did.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely, man. And that's what you got to look at. And it'll be interesting to see. Who gives him a shot if he gets picked. I think there's a good chance, probably 6th round, 5th round, he'll probably get an opportunity. But we'll see what happens. we're going to go over here to Ann. It's going to be a really exciting player that got hurt, and it was a bummer to see at the season last year. It's going to be Hendon Hooker, quarterback, Tennessee Volunteers, 6'4", 218 pounds. What did you see with Hendon, Ann?
I really kind of came away a bit surprised with Hendon Hooker. I like him.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
too.
love him. I just like him.
Yeah.
He's real solid. So we'll start out. I mean, he's a mobile dual threat, obviously. I thought he had a really strong arm. I mean, he made a lot of big throws, especially when you have a guy like Jalen Hyatt as fast as he is.
Oh, yeah.
Still don't believe he's a 4.4. He's faster than that. You see it on the field. Throwing downfield to a guy like that, and actually I've seen him overthrow him a couple times. So pretty strong arm. And I think he can make all the throws. I seen him do timing patterns, deep throws, short throws. So that's something that was really nice to see out of him. Did a good job, but I don't really know how to explain it. People were wide open. So is it a better college offense
Right.
than in the pros? Because guys in the pros are not going to be wide open like that.
Right.
So, and I mean, he had Cedric Tillman as well, who I'm not as high on, but is going to be drafted. So having two guys like that in a real friendly college offense, a little bit concerning, but something that I did like, only 2 interceptions in 22 and 3 in 21.
Yep.
Yeah.
Takes care of the ball,
Yeah.
man.
Did you see the records that he put up? With Tennessee, did 261 passes with no interceptions. That was a Tennessee.
No, I did not see that.
That was a Tennessee
Wow.
record. And then he went to Virginia, or he was at Virginia Tech first.
Yep.
Or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, he was.
He's a
And
transfer.
He did 124 straight completions with no interceptions. So that
Yeah.
was a Virginia Tech record. Then he went 20 straight games with a touchdown.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really efficient. It's a bummer he got hurt, man.
It is.
Yeah.
And if he didn't get hurt, I think we're talking about him possibly like him and Will Levis, like close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like real close.
His age is a little high too. That's the
25.
only other.
Yeah.
It's the injury. and the
25
age.
years old.
Yep.
Yep.
Other than that, I like him as well.
Well, another thing that I did see, 2021, 15 fumbles.
Oh, wow.
So his fumbles are kind of, pretty bad if you're not throwing interceptions. Like, I'm happy you're not throwing interceptions, but you got to hold on to the football.
Right.
That'll get your ass out of the game so fast. I mean, other than that, I think that's just the most that I seen. A little inconsistent at times, but I mean, that's things you can work through.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is older, but he's seasoned too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's one nice thing. Like, and that's why, like, taking care of the ball. Like, I mean, you could see he's progressed in that, a little bit, and he's just played more football than some of these other guys.
The big thing that's going to matter is his draft capital. Where is he drafted?
Could you see him sneaking into the back end of the first round?
No, I
No,
can't.
no.
I can't.
No,
I think
I know a lot of people are saying that. I do not think so.
I could almost see a team trading up and trying to get him for the 32nd or 31st this year. Pick.
Well, the thing is, though, man, like, it's tough because, like, look what happened last year. I mean, I know the quarterback prospects weren't great,
Right.
but look how far some of them guys slid. I mean, I just don't see them, like, doing that. I think they'll try to go for more value. I think he'll probably be about middle of the second round.
yeah.
I think that's where his name will be called. You might see a team down towards the bottom of the second come up in the second.
Yeah.
To about the middle of the second. But I think that'd be the best case scenario.
I think best case as well is a second round pick.
Oh, yeah.
I do not see a first.
and it's in the injury. The injury is a bummer, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it really is because I don't even know if he's going to be ready to start the season.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
I think they already said that he's probably not going to be able to start this season. But
Right.
but they were saying though, if it wasn't for the injury, then it was definitely a chance he could be on the back end of the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I was with you though. I came away rather surprised about how much I liked him. I mean, in super flex leagues, I mean, if you can get him in the early second,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd take him in the early second because, man, he goes somewhere like Seattle or something where
Yeah.
he sets
Yeah.
behind.
yeah,
That'd be really good for him because obviously you can't start and you're learning from a guy like Gino.
yeah,
Kind of have the same
Yeah,
game.
I was gonna say Gino
Exactly.
kind of
Yeah.
same person.
I could give Muss a good one that he'd like. Maybe like Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
don't
I mean, it
even
would be.
start.
Yeah,
right before I come up here, I'm like, I swear, Moss says something about Detroit taking a quarterback today, so I might just have to knock him off and see.
Detroit's taking my next quarterback.
Where did you guys have Hooker at?
Have him at 5.
I have
at
him at 6.
I am at 5.
I have him at 6. So, I mean, he's right in there with all of us. I do like him. I'm like you guys, pleasantly surprised. I knew he had a good year last year, but he is seasoned. He's played a lot of football. It's a bummer he got hurt, but I do think, that he will get a chance somewhere, second, third round. I think he'll be picked there. I really do, because the athleticism and like you said, I mean, the numbers were there. So.
Who do you have at 5?
I have Bennett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I have Stetson Bennett at 5.
Okay.
We're going to go over here to my next one, and it's going to be Will Levis, quarterback, Kentucky Wildcats, 6'3", 232 pounds. You want to talk about a laser. This guy can throw it anywhere across the field. I mean, he's got probably arguably the strongest arm, maybe in the last couple draft classes. I mean, he can really whip this thing. I really like Levis. I like him a lot. I think he's got a ton of upside. One thing I did like about him is he did line up under center more than any of these guys.
Yeah.
I do think that does help a little bit. I mean, that's NFL-type caliber stuff. No, I did hear, too, I did see some people say that scouts and front office guys really like him and his personality and his leadership intangibles.
Yeah.
So that is one thing I did hear a lot about. So that's another positive thing. We all know that there's more to playing quarterback than just being on the field. You got to have the mindset and the capabilities of doing it. A lot of teams like him, so that's something to really, really hang your hat on if you like Will Levis. One thing that I will say, too, in his defense, Kentucky was horrible last year.
The O-line was terrible.
Every time he dropped back, there was someone on top of him. So I will come to his defense in that case. I mean, it just wasn't good. I know he got a little bit banged up last year as well. I'm not surprised. A lot of his skill players, too, just not good. I mean, I seen a game where he threw an out route to a guy. I can't remember who it was against. It might have been like Louisville or someone. He threw an out route to a guy down around the 5-yard line. He turned upfield, stepped out of bounds at the 1.
I see now.
And I'm like, are you kidding me, man?
Yep.
So, I mean, he was really working with some issues with up front in his skill players. So that's one thing to consider. Some other things, I will say, he does remind me of Josh Allen. I'm not going to say he's as good as Josh Allen, but he plays the game in a similar way. He really has a strong arm. He's really raw. I think coaching will really help him. He really needs to clean up his mechanics and stuff. But we all know that Dable will help Josh Allen out tremendously in that aspect. So you hope for Levis he goes to a team that can really cater to him and help him. I'm like you. I think he needs to sit. I don't think he needs to play right away. He just really needs coached up. Another thing is, too, his running. I mean, the guy's like a fullback out there. I mean, when he gets the ball, he goes. He doesn't go down. He looks for contact. I mean, that could be a good and bad. I mean, we know shelf life won't be as long, but he definitely has like winning mentality. He'll try to do anything to win. I do like that. Some of the negatives, sometimes his arm strength can be a bad thing. I've seen him try to throw balls in windows that were like so small, and they either got picked off or they got tipped. I mean, and then too, like he would throw some rocket balls at some guys 5-7 yards down the field. I mean, like
just
they were
chuck it.
Oh, just chuck it, and it would go off their hands and go up in the air. And I'm like, holy heck, man, just tone it down a bit.
Yeah,
So
I did see that.
I mean, the thing is with Will Levis, honestly, he's got a lot of the traits that you look for. Like I even wrote on here, he looks the part.
Yeah, he's got the frame.
He's got the frame. He's got the arm. He looks the part of an NFL quarterback. And by the way, these scouts and GMs and everyone's talking, he has the intangibles.
Yeah.
But he needs to clean a lot of this stuff up. And we're going to talk about Anthony Richardson, but him and Anthony Richardson to me, and I've said this all along, they're the two biggest boom or bust picks in this draft.
Yeah.
And from a fantasy perspective and an NFL perspective. Because, man, they have all this stuff that could really, they're blessed with talents that no one else has. But can they clean it up the little things?
Yeah.
Can they clean up the little things and be elite? That's going to be the big question. But I really like Will Levis. I think he's going to be a solid player. I just think he needs to fall in the right situation. What do you guys think about him?
He actually had a 4.0 GPA and was offered multi-Ivy League scholarship, so he's really smart, too.
Yeah, really intelligent.
So, I mean, that's good. And then, like you said, I mean, he's a great leader. I saw a lot of his interception were results of, which, I mean, it could be him chucking the ball, but were because of receiver drops, receiver tips.
Yeah.
So, like,
he just needs to settle down.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got people open. He just chucks it at them.
You just wish he would have stayed at Penn State.
I know. I was just gonna say. I wish he would have stayed at Penn State
because that would have been his job.
Oh, I know.
Oh, we wanted to go with Trace McSorley.
Yeah,
super senior.
That's exactly what happened.
But I mean, the thing is, like, where would you guys like to see him go? Because It's just he needs to find that right sweet spot to me. Like, it's got to be the right spot. I have him number 3 on my list.
I do too.
He's my number 3 also.
He's my number 4, and I think there's actually quite a bit of a gap there. I came away a little disappointed. One thing that he did that I seen a lot was staring down guys.
Yeah, he don't go through the progressions.
No, but that's just raw ability, and I don't think he's very accurate, but if you do look back, I mean, Josh Allen wasn't accurate.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts wasn't accurate. So he is very landing spot dependent. And I think what would bring him up for me is go to Steichen with the Colts.
Yeah.
I mean, he really helped Jalen Hurts progress.
That's a good point.
He really needs that.
I would like him in Tampa too.
Yeah,
he
that
already
wouldn't be
has. Yeah, I mean, he would be his job next year. I think would take over midseason because I just don't see Baker being.
The only thing with that is they would need to trade up for me. Like, if he were to fall to Tampa, not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if he falls out that far, then that means a lot of people are out on him. But I don't think that would happen. They would have to trade up. They would have to.
Yeah.
I get afraid he's going to go to Vegas.
That's what I was going to say.
That's a real shitty spot.
Terrible.
If you don't, have anything to do with the Patriots, you're screwed.
And, and the thing is, though, with Levis is, like, I've seen it, like, him stare down receivers too, but you just wonder, like, if he was a deer in headlights because of the offensive line. You know, because it was just that bad.
It was.
I mean,
it was really bad. It was tough to watch at times. And, I mean, his best target was Wandale back when Wandale was in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And you could see that, he took a bit of a fall whenever Wandale left. They had a little bit of chemistry. Another thing, he was hurt last year, so some speculate he might have been hurt all year.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to go to the NFL, you're a senior. You're playing through that shit. Like,
right.
You're trying to get paid. So
in one team that I did see that it depends on what happens with the Lamar saga, but I seen that Baltimore possibly could be one of them teams if a trade happens.
Yeah.
Maybe they come up and get him.
Another knock too I have on him. I felt like his timing throws were off, kind of.
Oh yeah.
But that could be to do with the line. It's really hard to scout him.
I know
it is. But you see the intangibles they say he has.
Yeah.
And you see the big arm.
Right.
In the size. Like I said, he looks the part, so it's like it's so enticing.
Mm-hmm. So, I wonder if he had a good line, because everything I knocked him on was basically a result of the line. Like, I wrote that he takes off too soon.
Yep.
And, stuff like that. But, you guys said, all your guys' knocks, a good O-line might solve everything.
Right.
Yeah.
A good O-line and good coaching, because I do think he does have some mechanical issues.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He needs to clean them up.
Definitely.
But, that's why we go back to landing spot dependent. Like, I'm like you. If it's the Colts, and it could very well be the Colts. If it's the Colts, I'm really interested because, last year their offensive line struggled. Indianapolis.
I was going to say that's the only downfall is they struggled last year, but getting a healthy line back and adding a little bit.
Offensive-minded coach. You got Michael Pittman. You got Jonathan Taylor. I mean, you got a nice, that's kind of a nice spot. So that's something to really watch. But he, like I said, him and Anthony Richardson, both to me, they have God-given talents that no one else does in this class.
Yeah.
And it's just like, will they go over to the field and, will they, will it all come together? It's tough to say. It really is.
Yeah.
We're going to go over to Ty here, and it's going to be his next one. It's going to be Tanner Mckee, quarterback, Stanford Cardinals, 6'6", 230 pounds. What'd you see with him?
Yeah, 6'6", dying breed of quarterback in today's NFL. He's just a pocket passer. He's not very mobile or elusive. His stats in college were not good at all. And normally I'm a big guy that, if I see that, I'm pretty uninterested. But at Stanford, really, he had no O-line help. His offensive weapons were real limited. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a break on that, but I still would have liked to see him more. Two things I really did like about him: he's got great arm strength, and really, I loved his ball placement. I thought he has a really, really, really good ball. So I really like that. I think he could be a possible sleeper on the back end of drafts. I'm not sitting here saying he's going to be crazy good, but maybe on the back end he might be an okay backup. But things I didn't like is, let's see here. That's what I just said. I mean, the big thing I don't like is his college stats. I just do not like a quarterback coming in the NFL that just does not have good college stats. So, I mean, it's not good. But he was number 6 on my list. But he's okay, but not super impressive.
Yeah, and like you said, I think you hit it right on the head. Just kind of more of a traditional pocket passer.
Yeah,
and
that's you hit it on the head. Really, I mean, that's what I have. Showed nice accuracy at times. Scans the field well.
Yeah,
the size. I love the 6'6", 231 frame on him.
Yep.
I think he's stiff though. He looks awkward sometimes.
Slow release.
Yeah, really slow kind of release.
Inconsistent.
Yep, I have inconsistent as well. I think he's a real smart player. Here's the thing. He reminds me of a player that's going to know an offense really well, but he's just not fast enough to do it.
Right.
Like his reaction times just aren't fast enough. So
his reflexes and stuff.
like he probably doesn't offer anything for us, but offers something for an NFL team.
So let me ask you this. Do you think he gets picked before Bennett and Duggan?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay.
And the only reason I put him on this list is I've seen people say that he could be like a top end second round pick. There ain't no freaking way in hell.
No, I don't see it.
Well, I think there's a lot of people like looking for the next Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think they're falling into that trap. Like, and really, I mean, if Brock Purdy would have went somewhere other than San Francisco,
yeah, it would be nothing.
He would be nothing, most likely. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, and that's what we say about landing spot. Like Levis, I mean, it could be a big difference. You know, I mean, it really does really shake out ways that can change things. And Brock Purdy is a special thing that happened with Kyle Shanahan. I don't think there's always going to be a player like that in the draft.
No, he's 8th for me personally. I don't know where you guys have him on your ranks.
Yeah, Adam's 7th.
I'm 6th.
6th.
Yeah, I am 7th too.
7th. So yeah, but all these guys are kind of a cluster.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they're all right down there in the bottom.
let the NFL draft determine where you pick them.
Right. And these quarterbacks, man, they are so hard to I mean, the position is so hard to break down compared to the other ones. They're so hard to decipher. There's a lot that goes into it, and some of it's mental too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So it's really interesting to see what happens. But we're going to go over here to the big fish, the one everyone loves, and including Muscles.
Except for Ty.
That's why we give him to Muscles. It's going to be Anthony Richardson, quarterback, Florida Gators, 6'4", 232 pounds. What'd you think of him, Mus?
I mean, this is another tough one. I mean, he's got the highest upside of any quarterback in this draft. I mean, you could see him being QB1 out of this draft any day of the week, but you could also see him busting. I mean, he's got elite speed. He's got the height, the weight, the arm strength, I believe. But he's just raw. He only threw 66 passes prior to 2022. And then in 2022, he only had an 84.3 quarterback rating. So, I mean, not good, but you see what Justin Fields can do. Mm-hmm. Justin Fields don't have to really throw the ball to be fantasy relevant.
Right.
But he had the best broad jump and vertical ever for a quarterback in the history of the Combine. So just going back to the freak athlete. What I saw is he can throw on the run.
Yeah,
like a lot of these quarterbacks, like, you know, who are we talking about? Bryce Young couldn't throw on the run.
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. Yeah.
CJ.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson could throw on the run. I saw that. And then I don't know if you guys ever saw Raz scores, but he scored a perfect 10.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but I did see a little bit of inconsistency. He's not very accurate. He throws off his back foot a lot, and he's got a lot of poor mechanics.
Yeah, his footwork's horrible.
Yeah.
Very inconsistent.
Could be the greatest athlete.
Could be.
Draft.
Could be. I mean, he could be a Cam Newton 2.0, but he could also be
Marcus Russell.
Yeah. You could see both scenarios.
Yeah. I came away. He was another one hard to evaluate because his line was trash.
Yeah.
And that's where you're seeing him on the run throwing pretty good because he had to probably 60% of the time. I would love to see him in an offense where he is in the pocket. He needs to be taught to stay in the pocket some.
Yeah.
You know, not all the time because you can throw on, outside of the pocket, that's good as well. But one big thing I seen with Anthony Richardson, if his first read isn't there, he kind of freaks.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's kind of a first read guy, and if it ain't there, he's running
And that's a scary thing with a quarterback.
Yeah.
Because it's like, can that be helped? Can that be helped coached out of them?
Yeah.
Or is he just one of them people that just sees tunnel vision?
Yeah, and I don't know.
Yeah, and that's why it's the hardest, like I said, again, it's the hardest position to decipher because these are the things. I mean, like, some people can get it. and some people just can't. But the thing is, like, he has the ability. Like I said, he's probably maybe the greatest athlete in this draft.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what I said, like, going back to him and Will Levis. They're probably the two most physically gifted. It's just, can they put it together?
Right.
His timing routes, I thought they didn't look very natural either. They were real, like, just not there. And that has to do with his footwork. I mean, he needs to see the field a lot better. There's a lot of times he was forcing throws. But, again, man, I think a lot of this goes down to the line. Like, when you have a shitty line, who knows? They saying, hey, Anthony, just look, and if it's not there, run.
Right.
Like, you're good enough, just run.
Right.
They might have told him that. And another thing, this is really the first full season we've seen of Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't seen anything.
Yeah, prior to 2022, like I said, he only threw 66 passes.
So here's the big question. Like, right now, I personally have him at 2. If he is not a top 10 pick, he falls.
Yeah,
he falls
big time for me.
He falls big time.
Now, what if he does go 1-1?
If he goes 1-1 to Carolina,
are you taking him?
not over Stroud. Not over Stroud. It no matter what, it stays the same.
It's just like Stroud, no matter what.
Okay, all right.
But just because if I have 1-1, if I'm not taking Bijan, I got to take a guy that I feel like can hit.
Safe,
I cannot miss.
Right.
I understand the upside. And I came away a little bit surprised. I think his film was better than what a lot of other analysts are saying.
Yeah.
But it's still not great.
Right.
It's still not great. And he's going to be a gamble. And, I mean, do we really think any of these teams, I mean, we're not making any money even doing this. These teams that are billionaires, like, are they going to gamble on a guy that's
unproven?
His first year, it's unproven, man.
Well, I'll tell you right now. In my head, and I mean, I could be wrong, but I just think this is the way it's going. I think Bryce or Stroud to Carolina, that could flip-flop. The other one that don't go will go to Houston. I see Levis. I really do see Levis going to the Colts at 4.
Yeah. Really?
Then the next team I see, and they're famous for getting these athletes, is the Las Vegas Raiders. Sitting at 7.
That would be bad.
And honestly, man, they have a history of drafting guys like this, these workout warrior type, freak athletes.
Yeah.
So
Marcus Russell.
Is there any team we can see trading up with the Cardinals or trading up?
It could happen.
See, I would actually. I mean, same with Levis. I'd like to see either one of them go to the Colts. I mean, if Richardson went to the Colts,
I'd love it.
I'd love that too.
But I have a feeling Levis will go to the Colts.
I could see Levis go to the Colts too.
I just have a feeling. I mean, I could be wrong. If there's a team that trades up, I mean, we could see possibly maybe like a Seattle, maybe Washington Commanders, someone to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Atlanta.
I mean, they could move up. I mean, they wouldn't
Baltimore would be a good landing spot for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they wouldn't.
If Baltimore would trade Lamar and move up.
No matter what, though, this guy is not a day one starter. I mean,
no.
If you're drafting him, be ready. He's not going to play right away, and if he does, that's bad news.
I think the play is to take them in your super flex leagues accordingly. Wherever you have them, don't reach for them.
Yeah.
And then after the first year, you go trade that owner.
Yep.
That they're overreach for because that owner is going to be.
What the hell?
You didn't do anything. So
same thing with Mahomes. Mahomes didn't start his first year,
right.
and you got a discount.
Yeah, exactly. I think
with some people,
I think that's how you got to approach it. Mm-hmm. Draft them accordingly. Don't reach, and then next year, trade them for what you think's fair, and then watch them take off.
But he's a guy that he's either gonna hit or he's out of the NFL. Like, he ain't a backup.
No.
I don't think. I think it's either hit or nothing.
Like I said, I'm happy for him. I think he's really helped his stock, but it's going to go one or two ways. Someone is going to reach in the NFL draft, or he's going to go in the teens somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a matter of
he
what
goes
happens.
in the teens. He drops a lot for me.
Yeah.
And if I'm approaching this from a fantasy standpoint, I mean, I got him at number 4 on my list. I mean, I'm like you. I'm like Ty in a way. I like to see college production. I mean, I know the guy's a freak athlete, and he could, like I said, him and Levis both, I got them 3 and 4, and they could easily be 1 and 2 if everything comes together for them. But that's a big if.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if I'm looking at this from a fantasy standpoint, if I'm one of these teams at 1-1, I've had a horrible season. I have nobody. I'm like Andy. I'm taking C.J. Stroud because, I mean, if I don't take Bijan, because you need to hit.
Yep.
And I think if you get Stroud, and especially if he goes somewhere like Houston, I think you're going to have someone that you can rely on at least as a steady quarterback too.
Is there a chance, and nobody's talking about this, is there a chance Arizona takes him at 3? Because there's a lot of rumors that they want to trade Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Rumors. There's nothing that we've evidence seen.
Right.
But this would be a good play. I mean, if they were going to do that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of animosity there, I think, between Kyler and the Cardinals. It's never been a perfect marriage.
Yeah, and they haven't brought in another quarterback.
No. That's what I'm saying. Are they just the ones sitting back saying, yeah, we're going to try to trade the pick, and then they end up being on the clock and they take Anthony Richardson and surprise the whole freaking world?
Yeah.
It could happen.
They still have the cap. They could even trade for Lamar.
Yep.
What about the New York Jets sitting here at 13?
Yeah,
I mean, if the Aaron Rodgers thing doesn't come to fruition, I mean, do they come up and get somebody? I mean, that's a possibility. Maybe they don't want to wait forever. Maybe they're feel insecure about it. We all know they don't want to roll with Zach Wilson again.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's the biggest wild card. Will it be in the top 10 or will it be in the teens? I think if it's in the top 10, you're going to see it from 7 to 10.
Yep.
And it's either going to be a team that trades up, possibly Atlanta, possibly Vegas. If it ain't, he's going to be somewhere in the teens. Someone's going to pick him in the teens.
I currently have him at 2. He's behind Stroud for me.
Okay.
Where do you guys have him?
I got him at 4.
I had him at 3.
I got him at 4, and if Hooker was a little bit younger and didn't have the ACL, I like Hooker more talent-wise. But
As a pure thrower of the football.
but
right,
you got to put Richardson at least in the top 4 because the value
Right.
And-
is not even close.
And, too, the athleticism. I mean, it is there. Like Muscle said, I mean, he will offer you Justin Fields possibly running stats. It's just how long will he be in the league? Like Andy said, it could be short term. It's tough to say. Mm-hmm. But that's going to do it for the quarterback film review. A lot of good stuff there. It's really fun going over these guys.
We were all kind of different. That was kind of good that we were all different. So.
Yeah. It's the hardest position to decipher.
Oh, my God, I know.
We see it every year. NFL GMs get paid millions to try to make this decision, and they still fail.
Yep.
So it's really tough to go over and see who's who, but it'll be interesting to see where they end up on draft day. But this is going to do it for this episode. Next episode, we're going to be doing the tight end review.
Yeah.
And it's going to be
A lot of good ones.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a juicy episode. I mean, there's probably, 5-6 guys at least that are really interesting anyhow. I mean, we haven't jumped into the film yet, but once we do.
We usually do 8, and we might end up doing like 10. I love these tight ends. So.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And you know what's great after that? We do what everyone loves. It's going to maybe a little giveaway, some mock drafts maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
Mock drafts come April. We'll see what happens. We'll keep you guys posted. Couple things to mention here before we hop off. Again, guys, if you haven't checked it out, go over and check it out. It's an awesome site. A lot of good stuff on there. www.dynastydna.net. Like I said, again, all the podcasts, all the YouTube videos, articles on guys that we like and all of our writers like. I mean, mock drafts, you name it, it's over there. Go over there and check that out. Also going to bring it up again, the Bijan Robinson signed mini helmet sweepstakes. If you want to enter in this bad boy, first thing you got to do is go over to Twitter, follow us at DynastyDNA_, retweet the pic of the helmet, and you're entered once. You go over to YouTube, you subscribe to us on YouTube, screenshot that over there on Twitter, or put it in the comments. You could be entered twice. And hey, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're giving that away the first round of the NFL draft, April 27th. I did see one guy said that was his birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he put that on. He's like, boy, I'd really like to win this. It'd be a good birthday present. I said, well, it would be interesting, man. I mean, that would be
Did
fun.
you give him my PayPal account? He can pay me off. I'm just playing.
Yeah, that's why I took charge. I know Mus and Andy both are drooling over this.
Oh, yeah.
And Ty secretly is. He won't come out and say it, but he's secretly.
At least I'm not a little shyster like Mus.
Me?
Yeah.
So, guys, you got to get entered in this because someone's got to win it because there could be fisticuffs at this table here soon. So enter in. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of spots still open. Can't wait to give it away the first round of the NFL draft. A couple other things to mention. Follow us over on Twitter at DynastyDNA_. Check us out on YouTube. Check our YouTube channel out. See us on here live talking about these guys. Yep. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, everything over there. We appreciate the support. Also, check us out on Spotify, Apple Pod, Stitcher, Amazon, Google Podcasts. We're on all the big ones. Like I said, and I keep saying it, and I will keep saying it, we go up all the time, and it's because of you guys. You guys are the best. the DNA Strand crew. You're rocking it out.
And I think we're going to be posting our rankings here soon, because after we're done with tight ends, and we can post on our website our rookie rankings. So.
Yep, we'll have that running on Twitter and on our website. We'll post on both.
Check out our website, guys. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
TJ did a great job, putting stuff together.
I appreciate it, fellas. And like I said, I'm glad that, it's kind of nice, because if you're a fantasy football just like Solviant like we are, you go over there, man, and you have everything. I mean, articles and videos
and everything's
podcasts.
free right now.
Yeah,
so.
Everything's free. Check it out. I mean, all you got to do is click on
free?
Yeah, free.
Free.
That's Muscle's favorite price. So you're saying you are a shyster now, Mus.
Yeah, I suppose.
Damn right he is.
Well, at least he admitted to it. But
Get
yeah,
into the
guys,
name calling.
go over there and check us out. We appreciate your support. You guys are the best. Couldn't do it without you. All the stuff, the interactions. I mean, it's just neat on Twitter. If you have a question, shoot it over. We always love to answer it, and we always love talking to you guys, because Dynasty Fantasy Football is our favorite thing in the world. But if you guys want to check that out, make sure you tune in to the next episode. It will be the tight end rookie film review, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of Dynasty DNA.
See ya.
See you guys.